So we've already taken a look at what life is like for the pink guards and VIPs in Squid Game. But what about the main event, the players themselves? We're about to break down the depressing, awful experience of being a player in the Squid Game. It all starts with a simple slap. Not from a fight, but from a folded paper tile smacking the ground. This is the entry point, a subway station where a sharply dressed man offers a game of depressing. Win and you get cash. Lose and you get a slap in the face. For a person drowning in debt, the promise of easy money is a powerful lure, enough to endure the repeated stings of humiliation. The losses stack up one by one. The slaps ache, but the desperation to win, to finally catch a break, is far stronger. When a win finally comes, you're given the money and a business card with 3 simple shapes: a circle, a triangle, and a square. A phone number is the only other detail. The well-dressed man explains there's a much bigger game for a much bigger prize, if you're willing to play. For a life defined by loan sharks and impossible bills, the card feels less like an option and more like the only way out. You inevitably make the call. A time and a place are arranged. You're picked up in an unmarked van where a strange gas fills the air, and the world slowly goes black. You awaken in a huge, sterile dormitory with hundreds of strangers. Everyone is wearing a green tracksuit with a number on their chest. The bunk beds are stacked high, almost like shelving for products. There are no names here, just numbers. The air is thick with confusion, fear, and a flicker of hope towards better lives. Masked figures in pink jumpsuits appear, their faces hidden by the same shapes from the invite card. They explain the rules in a flat, robotic tone. 6 games, spread across 6 days. The winner gets a massive cash prize. The total, displayed in a giant, transparent piggy bank high above them, grows every time a player is eliminated. The true meaning of eliminated isn't clear yet, but the weight of potential failure settles over the room. The first meal you receive, a simple lunchbox from childhood, creates a bizarre sense of nostalgia in this deeply uncertain place. Red light, green light. For the first game, you're led through a maze of colorful, nonsensical stairwells, like something out of a dream. You step out into a large, artificial field where a giant, creepy-looking animatronic girl stands with her back turned to you. The game is red light, green light. The rules are simple. You must cross the field to the finish line in 5 minutes. You can only move when the doll is chanting and her back is turned. When she stops and turns her head, you must be perfectly still. Any movement means instant elimination. No second chances. The game starts. You take a few cautious steps and then the doll's head spins around. Silence. A moment later, the sharp crack of a sniper rifle echoes through the field. A player who stumbled falls to the ground, a red stain spreading across his tracksuit. Panic erupts in your gut. Elimination means death. The realization hits you and the crowd with an overwhelming physical force. People begin to scream and turn to run, only to be gunned down by guards one by one in rapid succession. The cheerful playground has become a killing field as a dark and bottomless fear fills your stomach. Your survival now depends on pure instinct. You move when she isn't looking, and you freeze into a statue when she is. You fear as much as breathing when she faces you. 5 minutes feels like an eternity. Every muscle in your body screams to run, but the slightest twitch could be fatal. The doll's sing-song voice becomes a death countdown. Seeing someone fall just feet away is a constant, brutal reminder of the stakes. If you make it across the finish line, and many don't, any sense of relief is swallowed by the grim new reality of your situation. You are now fighting for your life. No one can save you. Back in the dorm, the empty beds are a haunting sight. The prize money in the piggy bank has ballooned, a monument to the dead. Your shock turns to anger, and you join the others in demanding to leave. A clause in the contract allows the games to be stopped if a majority votes to end them. A vote is held, the numbers ticking up on a large screen. It's a tense battle between the terror of the games and the misery of the world you left behind. The vote is painfully close, but the majority chooses to go home. Your return to the real world is jarring. The debts are still there, the desperation just as sharp. The chance to escape that life was so close. The freedom you voted for now feels like its own kind of prison. The business card, once a sign of a dangerous risk, now represents a twisted kind of hope. Some may leave the games forever, but most return out of necessity. If you get back into the van, it'll be from a decision that the horrors of the game are better than the hopelessness of your life. See Honeycomb and Hidden Clues. The second game takes place in a playground. You have to choose one of 4 shapes etched onto a wall: a circle, a triangle, a star, or an umbrella. The choice seems random, a matter of luck. The task is then revealed. You receive a small tin containing a piece of dalgona, a fragile honeycomb candy stamped with your chosen shape. You have 10 minutes to carve it out perfectly. If it cracks or breaks, you are eliminated. The task is deceptively difficult. The honeycomb is incredibly brittle, and your provided needle is a poor tool. A shaky hand or a moment of impatience could shatter the shape, and with it, your life. The tension is immense. You watch as those who picked the simple triangle work with frantic focus, while those who chose the complex umbrella begin to sweat with dread. Gunshots slowly echo around you as you hear some players pleading for their lives after the sickening crack of their candy. Strategy becomes your key to survival. You see another player discover that licking the back of the candy can melt the sugar, making the shape easier to trace. The tip spreads quietly, a small moment of shared humanity in a place designed to crush it. Even with this trick, the clock is fast. The sound of a gunshot marks every failure, a constant drumbeat of death. Surviving is a small, sweet victory with a bitter aftertaste. In the hours between games, you realize the dorm has become its own society. Alliances form out of desperation. A gangster and his crew start to take over, hoarding food and threatening weaker players like you. The games are no longer the only threat. After lights out, the gangster starts a special game, a brutal riot where the prize money goes up for every person killed. You have to fight for your life in the dark until the guards finally step in and you narrowly escape being choked to death. Tug of war. The third game requires teamwork. You're told to form a team of 10. You see most people rush to team up with the strongest men, leaving you to join a group with the old, the women, and the weaker men. The arena is a pair of high platforms with a massive gap in the middle. The losing team will be dragged over the edge to their deaths. The physically powerful teams seem to have a clear advantage, but an old man on your team, who has been quiet until now, reveals he has a strategy. He explains that it's not about pure strength. It's about technique, timing, and working as one. He gives you and your teammates a plan for how to stand, how to use your weight, and how to use a coordinated burst of energy to throw the other team off balance. Your team, at first glance, the weakest, follows his instructions. You struggle, the rope tearing at your hands while the other team taunts you. But you hold on, trusting the old man's plan. At the right moment, your team executes the strategy and the tide turns. The stronger team, relying only on brute force, is caught by surprise. In a shocking victory of strategy over strength, you help pull your opponents over the edge. It's a moment of triumph immediately followed by the horror of watching 10 people fall to their deaths at your own hands. Even the greatest victories have the most depressing results in this brutal competition. The agony of marbles. The psychological toll keeps mounting. Your shock is gone, replaced by a dark form of exhaustion, so close to giving up. The fourth game is designed to attack what little is left of your spirit. You are told to get into pairs. A wave of relief washes over you. After the brutality of tug of war, working with a partner feels like a small mercy. You pair up with someone you've grown to trust, the closest thing you have to a friend. You get led into a recreation of an old neighborhood as the sun sets. Then the twist is revealed. You are not partners. You are opponents. The game is marbles. You are given a bag of 10. The goal is to get all of your opponent's marbles within 30 minutes. You can play any game you agree on as long as there's no violence. The winner lives, the loser dies. The emotional devastation is immediate and total. The person you chose for support is now the only thing standing between you and survival. The game is a factory for betrayal. You must face your friend with an impossible choice. You watch as others try to find a way for both to live, but the guards refuse. The next 30 minutes are filled with quiet, desperate games, but more than that, with heartbreaking choices. A husband betrays a wife. A player tricks his trusting friend to win. The gunshots that follow this game are the most crushing yet, each one marking a broken bond and a lost piece of your humanity. Whether through deception, luck, or even skill, your life being kept has led to the loss of somebody else's, somebody close to you. The glass bridge. You and the other remaining players are hollow shells after that cruel game. The fifth game is a raw test of luck. You enter a strange room and face a long bridge suspended high in the air. The bridge is made of paired glass panels. In each pair, one panel is tempered glass that can hold your weight. The other is normal glass that will shatter on impact, sending you plummeting to your death. You must choose a number that decides the order you cross. If you are at the front, you bear the greatest risk, with every step being a 50-50 chance of survival. Each correct step you take reveals a safe path for those behind you. The sound of shattering glass and a scream becomes a repeating horror. You see some players push others ahead of them. The bridge is a stage for final, desperate acts of self-preservation. If your luck runs out, your journey that started with a slap in a subway will end with a final, fatal misstep into darkness, your life extinguished for the entertainment of a hidden audience. And the reality is, that's likely exactly how it goes down. Statistically, you didn't even make it out of the first game. If somehow you made it to Honeycomb, barely anyone still got out alive, you're likely just another one of the background characters who didn't make it. Even if you got up to the glass bridge, your meals are dull, your dorms are depressing, and the games give you lifelong trauma. It's not exactly the best life to lead, even if the games themselves are short. Do you think you'd be able to survive? Or are you blessed to view this video from the comfort of your home? Let us know in the comments if you agree with our pick. And if you want to see more Squid Game content and theories, click the video on screen now.